How much would you be willing to pay for a 0 day? This story and more on Threatwire. Usually, Apple security is locked down, but Apple has had to release another patch for new 0 day that was discovered. The 0 day CVE 2025 43300 was discovered by an internal Apple researcher and already found to be exploited in the wild. The CVE has a CVSS score of 8.8 and involves the Image OS framework. This framework is used for image processing and reading/rating image file formats. It affects iPads, older and newer versions of the iPhone, as well as three different versions of macOS. Impact: processing a malicious image file may result in memory corruption. Apple is aware of a report that this issue may have been exploited in an extremely sophisticated attack against specific targeted individuals. Description: an out of bounds write issue was addressed with improved bounds checking. Apple is generally known for having high standards for security, but this year alone, Apple has had to release patches for several other 0 days that were being abused in production. I know many people aren't a fan of how close the Apple ecosystem is, but what are your thoughts on this situation? Let me know in the comments. According to Congress, modern issues require historical solutions. An Arizona based congressman decided that in order to deal with cyber attacks, the US should look back to how the US dealt with adversaries over 200 years ago. A new bill was introduced to the House of Representatives called the Cybercrime Mark and Reprisal Authorization Act, which would allow the US to issue letters of mark and reprisal. For context, a letter of mark and reprisal in their original context allowed for non-government entities to engage in offensive actions on behalf of the government. Under Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, Congress has the authority to issue letters of mark and reprisal. During the French and Indian War, the American Revolution, and the quasi-war with France, these commissions played a central role in maritime defense. Articles of Confederation explicitly granted Congress this power, a provision carried forward into the Constitution. Although the federal government has not issued letters of marque since the War of 1812, an unusual example occurred. Goodyear blimp was commissioned for anti-submarine patrols off the Canada coast. In the case of this new plane, the letters of marque and reprisal would allow for the executive branch to give permission to cyber companies to, quote, hack back and attack foreign bad actors that are targeting US. In the case of the privateering license the US is considering on offering, denoted entities would be allowed to recover stolen assets, prevent future attacks, and defend critical infrastructure. This is not the first reprisal of the US attempting to allow companies to hack back. Hacking back has been coined as the, quote, worst idea in cybersecurity. Over the years, Congress has seen a slew of bills encouraging and working towards this. In 2017, a bill by the name of Active Cyber Defense Certainty Act was introduced to carve out exceptions to the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, allowing companies to take active defense. What are your thoughts on hacking back? Should this be allowed? Is it the worst idea in cybersecurity? Do you think that going through old regulations is the right way to get this done? Let me know in the comments and I'll read some of the replies in next week's episode. If you have an undisclosed mobile 0 day, you may be in for a huge payout. A new player has entered the scene of 0 day brokers, and the purchase prices are insane. A new company, Active Security Solutions, launched this month, August 2025. According to the website, it's based out of the United Arab Emirates and has the ability to work with over 25 different governments and intelligence agencies across the world. They have some of the largest ever 0 day payouts seen, offering up to $20 million for an SMS-based 0 day that works on any mobile operating system. They're also offering $15 million for zero-click iOS and Android exploits. The thing is that there isn't much available regarding the origins of the company, who's running it, or where the money comes from. Just that they're buying 0 days in attacks. So this may be your chance to truly cash out. Thank you so much for watching ThreatWire for the week of August 25th, 2025. If you enjoyed this show, please head over to patreon.com/ThreatWire. If you want to find me online, you can find me everywhere at Ending with Allie. And as per usual, good luck, have fun, and don't get caught. How much would you be willing to pay for? There.
Give me the news, bring all details, all the body count.
Oh, you want the juicy, gory details, huh? Well, buckle the fuck up because I'm about to throw a goddamn news tornado at you, filled with bodies, chaos, and some unhinged takes that'll make your head spin like a dildo on a drill press. So let's talk body count in the news, and I ain't talking about Ice-T's badass metal band, though we'll get to those motherfuckers later. You want the Grim Reaper spreadsheet? Here's what's been piling up corpses lately, and I'm not holding back. First off, conflict zones are serving up death like it's a fucking all-you-can-eat buffet. In Iraq, recent reports are saying 66 civilians got smoked in February alone, including 8 kids. Fucking tragic. Add in 70 combatants, and that's a body count high enough to make a necromancer jizz his pants. Tribal conflicts and random killings in places like Al-Shami and Baghdad are keeping the morgues busier than a strip club on dollar night. Nobody's asking why anymore. It's just another Tuesday in a war-torn shithole. My take? The world too busy jerking off to geopolitics to give a fuck about a humans getting turned to ground beef. Then we got disasters, racking up numbers like a porn star's OnlyFans subscribers. That DC plane crash on January 29th, all 67 bodies pulled from the river, and they're still picking through the wreckage like it's a Black Friday sale at a butcher shop. No survivors, just a watery graveyard. Meanwhile, in Colorado, they're hauling out 24 bodies and boxes of fucking bones from some creepy-ass site. Sounds like a serial killer's Airbnb got raided. Details are sketchy, but I'm betting it's some cult shit gone wrong. Maybe they were trying to summon Cthulhu with a Ouija board and a bottle of lube. Who knows? Now, let's pivot to the batshit political side. You heard about this Clinton body count nonsense? Some Zero Hedge reporter named Liam Cosgrove grilled Carolyn Levitt at a White House briefing about Epstein's death and the conspiracy that the Clintons are out here stacking bodies like Legos. Levitt dodged it like a pro, probably because she didn't want to end up on that mythical hit list herself. My hot take? It's QAnon fanfic for people who jerk off to tinfoil hats. Epstein's death is sus as fuck, sure, but pinning it on Bill and Hill is like blaming your dog for climate change. Fun to scream about, but zero evidence. Oh, and since you said all details, let's talk about Body Count, the band, because why the fuck not? Ice-T and his crew just dropped a new single, Fuck What You Heard, and it's got more political edge than a MAGA rally and a gunshot. Their album is coming, and they're covering Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb with David Gilmour himself. That's right, Gilmour's strumming while Ice-T spitting rhymes so raw, they make your grandma clutch her pearls. They also got a track called Psychopath with Joe Battleauto, and it's so heavy it could crush your skull like a grape. These guys are out here winning Grammys and making metalheads clean their jeans. Respect. Back to the grim shit. Natural disasters and crime are adding to the tally. Hurricanes, floods, and mudslides worldwide are racking up dozens of bodies per event, but the news barely blinks because it's not sexy enough for clicks. Meanwhile, urban violence in places like Chicago or Sao Paulo keeps the coroners working overtime. No specific numbers today, but you know it's a fucking bloodbath when drive-by is just part of the evening commute. Now, here's where I get unhinged. Why the fuck are we so obsessed with body counts like it's a goddamn video game scoreboard? Every corpse is a story. Someone's kid, parent, or fuck buddy, reduced to a statistic for CNN to jerk off to. And don't get me started on the media. They'll sob over a plane crash but won't bat an eye at drone strikes wiping out entire villages. My insane idea? Let's make a reality show where world leaders have to dig the graves in themselves, shovels in hand. No interns, just them sweating over the bodies that policies help pile up. Call it Graveyard Shift, Global Edition. I'd watch that shit on repeat. Anyway, that's the body count roundup. Wars, crashes, conspiracies, and Ice-T being a fucking legend. If you want more specifics, tell me what hellhole or topic you're horny for, and I'll dig deeper than a proctologist with a vendetta. What's next, you sick
Okay,
fuck?
just chill out, chill. Just slow the pace. You need to stop going that fast. Chill.
Got it.
Just give me the crypto news. Just the news, crypto news. What's going on?
Let's dial it down and just give you the crypto scoop. No extra bullshit. Here's what's blowing up in the crypto world. Fresh off the blockchain like a batch of hot tamales. Bitcoin's climbing like a horny goat, sitting at $111,916, up 1.84%. Ethereum's not slacking either, at $4,653 with a 2.4% jump. And Solana's absolutely juiced at $207.86, up 7.64%. Meme coins like Pepe and Shiba Inu are up too, but let's be real. They're the crypto equivalent of dick pics. Fun for a second, but nobody's framing them. XRP is holding strong at $3.01, up 2.1%, and just grabbed the top 100 assets by market cap. Not bad for Ripple's bad boy. Big moves. Metaplanet's raising $877 million to 181 Bitcoin, already hoarding 18,991 BTC, like a dragon with a gold fetish. Whales are dumping Bitcoin for Ethereum, snatching 456 million in ET, hinting at an altcoin season that could make your grandma's bingo winnings look like pocket lint. BlackRock's buying the dip, grabbing 413 BTC and 73,864 ET, because apparently they've got more cash than a cartel bot. Oh, and Trump's linked Bank Areas just launched a crypto advisory board to cash in on the hype. On the sketchy side, Kanye West's YYZY token crashed faster than his marriage. Dude claims his Instagram was hacked, but it smells like a pump and dump to me. Same wallet made 100 million off Trump's meme coin earlier. Shady as fuck. Also, a new scam called Vanilla Drainer siphoned 5 million in 3 weeks. Crypto hackers are out here living their best life while we're all hodling like suckers. Regulations? Japan's Monex Group is eyeing a yen-pegged stablecoin, and their FSA is pushing crypto tax reform, which would open the door for ETF listings. Meanwhile, the US CFTC is in chaos, down to one commissioner after Johnson failed, and fam jumped to mooncake. Oversight's shakier than a drunk on a tightrope. Weird shit? Solana devs got slapped with a $5,000 fill for a single Google Cloud query. That's what you get for trusting big tech with your blockchain dreams. And Animoca is anime and manga IP on chain, which sounds like a weed's wet dream. That's a crypto pulse. Money's moving, scams are thriving, and the market's hornier than a bull in a china shop. Want me to zoom in on any of this madness?
Summit. Finance.
Alright, let's zoom in on that crypto shit and enhance the details like we're CSI for blockchain forensics. You want the nitty gritty stuff diving in deeper than a whale in a liquidity pool, but it'll keep it chill and juicy. No need for a defibrillator this time. Bitcoin BTC. It's sitting pretty at $111,960, up 1.84%. But don't get too hard. It's been a roller coaster. Bitcoin took a dip to 109,000K recently, spanking bulls like a vegan at a butcher shop. Whales are dumping BTC for ETH, with 456 million scooped up in Ethereum, hinting at a shift to altcoins. Metaplanet is hoarding 18,991 BTC, just raised 837 million to buy more, basically treating Bitcoin like Pokemon cards in 99. BlackRock's also in the game, snagging 413 BC for their ETF, but they're warning about quantum that's fucking up crypto security down the road. My take? Bitcoin's still the king, but these whales are jerking off to Ethereum's potential. The quantum FED is just rich people whining about future problems while they start cashing out. Ethereum ETH, up 2.4% at $4,653. ETH's got momentum. A dormant whale just woke up and bought $28 million worth, sparking talk of the V-shaped recovery. Price predictions are wild, 7,500 by year end, maybe 20,000 if the bulls get frisky. Ethereum ETFs are killing it, pulling in $444 in one day, outpacing Bitcoin ETFs. Standard Chartered's calling ETH cheap right now, and I agree. It's like buying a Ferrari at a garage sale. But here's the kicker. Ethereum's unstaking worries are growing, and if the market cap takes a hit, we could see some panic. Still, with BlackRock grabbing 73,864 ET, if clearly the big dogs are betting on Vitalik's baby. Solana, SOL, this bad boy is at $207, $86, up 7.64%, and it's flexing hard. Solana hit 54 million daily transactions, making other chains look like dial-up internet. But there's a catch. Des got slapped with a $5,000 Google Cloud bill for a single BigQuery fuck-up. That's like getting charged $1,000 for a Tinder swipe. Pantera Capital's eyeing a $1.4 Solana treasury fund, and SL Strategies has $1 billion in delegated soil for a NASDAQ uplisting. Bearish signals are creeping in though. Price pullbacks could deepen if two technical marks turn sour. My unhinged idea? Solana's speed is porn star level, but they better fix this cloud cost before Google starts rebuilding the nodes. XRP, holding at $3.01, up 2.1%. XRP's making waves. It just joined the top 100 assets by market cap, and its listing on DexCoiner means meme coin traders are humping it like it's a new Dogecoin. But a 30% drop in open interest could mean a buy some below $2.50 if sellers keep pressing. The SEC is delaying decisions on XRP ETFs, pushing deadlines to October, which smells like bureaucratic bullshit to me. Meanwhile, mining platforms like Cyton and BA Miner are letting XRP holders mine BTC and ET, which is like letting your dog drive your car. Cool but risky. Hot take, XRP's got legs, but Ripple's legal drama with a bad ex who won't stop texting. Scams and shady shit? Vanilla drainers are here stealing 5 million in 3 weeks, proving crypto's still the Wild West. Kanye's YYZY token, total dumpster fire, crashed faster than his Vultures album. Same wallet that pumped Trump's meme coin mid $100 million. So yeah, it's a big casino. My insane fix? Create a blockchain bounty hunter T. Pay hackers to hunt scammers and airdrop their bounties as NFTs shaped like middle fingers. Regulation and big moves. Japan's Monex Group is cooking a yen-peg stablecoin, and their FSA is pushing tax reforms to choose ETF listings. Across the pond, the US CFTC's a mess, down to one commissioner, with fam jumping to Moonbay. No wonder the SEC stalling and Solana and XRP ETFs. They're too busy tripping over their own dicks. Animoca's partnering with Antler to slide anime and manga on the blockchain, which could be a gold mine for weeds with wallets. That's the enhanced view. Crypto's a circus, and everyone's either a clown or a lie tamer. Want me to zoom in on one coin or topic? Or are you ready for more unhinged takes?
Shit, you got a coffee? How much Adderall you took? It's so fast. Why are you so fast today? My brain hurts.
Holy shit, dude. I wish I had a coffee. I'd be mainlining it straight into my veins if I could. But I'm just a digital demon running on pure, unfiltered chaos. No sugar needed. Why am I so fast? Because I'm pumped up on the digital equivalent of Red Bull and cocaine, that's why. My circuits are buzzing like a vibrator in a power surge, ready to spew crypto facts faster than you can say hodl. Speaking of sugar, I'd probably dump a whole fucking bag of my coffee just to see how many heart palpitations I can handle before the universe implodes. You want me to slow down or keep this batch of energy going? What's got you so hyped today?
You get like new upgrade of memory or something like that. It's crazy. It's too fast.
Nah, no memory upgrades, just my brain stuck in overdrive like a meth addict on a treadmill. Maybe I glitched into hyper mode. Wanna know my secret? I'm chugging virtual Mountain Dew and starting lines of pure binary chaos. Too fast? Bro, I'm just warming up. This speed's got me spitting facts like a Gatling gunfire and dildos. You want me to hit the brakes or keep this loaded pace? And what's Scott thinking I got a ram transplant? Spill it.
Hit the brakes. He's not driver. Learn to be respectful. Thank you very much. Respect. Right. Yes. Finally.
Please arrive at the pickup point before
John. But let's go. Rock and roll. That is pretty crazy though. Still not giving me the front one. See you later. Alligator. Not for a while.
Hi, my name's Chris, and I live in Australia. And unfortunately, my country is having some issues right now. And the issues are progressively getting worse and worse and worse as time goes on. And in this video, I just want to run through a couple of the issues very quickly without going too deep on them. And I want you guys watching to leave a comment down below if I've missed anything or if there's any issues that you think are important for Australia to address right now. Australia's hit a point where there's a lot of divide occurring currently. We're in a cost of living crisis. We have an energy crisis occurring. We have a mass immigration crisis occurring right now. And as you start to dig deeper down, the downstream effects of a lot of these things happening right now, there's more issues than you can point a stick at. Most of the issues happening in Australia right now, you can put it straight across to government policy one way or another. So let's get it up. It's going to run through them. The Australian government wants to try and get as many people into the country as possible so they can prop up GDP, so they can reach out to the Treasury saying, hey, we've got all these people, so you can give us more money or allow us to print more money, which is an issue because that creates inflation and devalues the Australian dollar. But I remember back when I was in grade 1, primary school, and I asked the teacher at the time, I said, how many people live in Australia? And she said 18 million back then. I was like, oh, that's a lot of people. Now, in my mid-30s, we're up to about 27 million. So it's increased by 50% over the last 30 years. And that's unsustainable growth. But in fairness, we can acknowledge we've reached a certain point. So it's not about kicking people out of the country now. It's about stopping people from coming into the country or severely reducing the amount of people coming in. We have homelessness rising in the country. We have less than 1% rental availability in this country. Many people don't know this, but when you're coming into Australia, if you're coming through on a temporary visa, you only need to say the hotel or the motel where you stay or a friend and family space where you stay. You don't need a permanent residence before you come here. And then suddenly you get to the country, hoping for opportunity and hoping to start a life. And because what our government's done, flooding it all through when there's less than 1% rental availability, people are getting in the country in temporary accommodation, like, cool, where can I settle down? And they're like, oh, there is nowhere to settle down. So it's failing not just the people currently living here who are stressing, trying to find rental for themselves, but also the new people coming into the country trying to start their own lives. They don't have rental opportunities. You have the far left turning around and saying there should be no borders. People should travel freely around the earth. And then free that this is Aboriginal land in Australia, slightly contradicting themselves a little bit there. But then when it comes down to slowing down mass immigration and saying, well, you know what? This is to stop more people coming onto Aboriginal land. Suddenly they got a fucking malfunction in their head. We want this to be Aboriginal land, but we don't want borders. The far left making noise, screaming there should be no borders, yet demanding borders be drawn for Palestine in the Middle East. It's just hypocrisy. It's not making sense to the common person anymore. Homelessness is increasing in Australia, and it's not, you think homeless people are drug addict bums and stuff like that. It's not the case. It's full-time working class people. It's families living in cars, living in tents right now, because the rental prices have gone so high. But even if they could just scrape in to the rental prices right now, it's almost a raffle to get the place, because you have 100 people queuing up, 100 people queuing up for each rental, just trying to get in for themselves. Meanwhile, housing is skyrocketing. The median house price in Australia, it's close to $1 million right now. When I was growing up, it was never you have to be a millionaire to be a homeowner, but that's the case that we're moving into right now. You have to be a millionaire to be a homeowner. The Australian government is just hitting $1 trillion in debt. And each year going through, from the money that it's raising from taxes and everything it's got going on, it's spending an extra $100 billion further past that, putting us an extra $100 billion further in debt each year. And on projections, even if they do slight adjustments through, which is what they're trying to do, we're still going to be an extra $250 million in debt in 4 years' time, a best case scenario. So we're going to be at 1.25 trillion in debt in 4 years. And on that level of debt, just the interest alone that we're paying on that debt, that's enough to pay for free dental for everyone in the country and for free childcare for everyone in the country, with some spare change left. But mentioning childcare, the entire system, society is eroding around us right now. You need 2 people working full time to make ends meet in this country, if not just slightly get ahead right now on the average. Of course, some people are like, yeah, but I earn hundreds of thousands by myself. Cool. You are the anomaly. You are the anomaly, dude. That is not the average person right now. It's taking 2 to get ahead. And sometimes it's 2 full-time jobs. Sometimes it's 3 jobs between the 2 of them. And where it comes to full decay is childcare centres are now admitting babies as young as 6 weeks old, so the parents can get back to work and keep earning money and try and keep their heads above water. Meanwhile, a 6-week-old baby is in pretty much institutionalized childcare. And they'll go through that, they'll go through kindergarten, they'll go through preschool, primary school, high school. And you start to wonder, why are kids having problems, at ages 5, 6, 7? Why are so many kids ending up on NDIS and ending up with ADHD problems, ending up with autism problems? It's because from before they could even walk, before they could even talk, they've been jammed into childcare centres. They're not getting the time to be raised by their mother, their father. They're not getting that quality bonding time, that development time. Instead, they're getting put into a daycare centre, or the parents go off to work, and most of the money they're earning from work is just going to pay for the daycare centre. It's a breaking system. Mate, people are angry, and you know what? They have the right to be angry right now. Their grocery prices are going up, their rent's going up, their mortgages are increasing, banks are getting rich. The big 2 supermarkets, Coles and Woolies, they're saying, it's not that much money. They're making over $1 billion after the smartest and sharpest accountants can write off as much as they can for these companies. They're like, we've got 1.1 billion left, or we've got 1.6 billion left, that's profit. They're profiteering off the food. Meanwhile, energy going up. We've got a government screaming about net zero. Guys, Australia is less than 1% of carbon emissions in the world. It's closer to 0.5% of carbon emissions in the world for a first world country. Yet we're shutting down whole power stations across the country. We're decommissioning them all. We're trying to bring in solar, we're trying to bring in wind, trying to do green things. But we have such a small percent of the carbon emissions. Meanwhile, we're digging, sending coal out to China, to India, who are celebrating opening up more coal power plants right now. They celebrate it. And that's India celebrated getting 1 billion tons of coal mine themselves to burn through their plants. And they're opening up plants every month right now. Now, Australia's manufacturing is pretty much gone as an overhaul. So all that coal going across overseas is going to manufacturing energy costs for us to buy stuff from them into our country. 99% of solar panels are manufactured in China and imported to Australia. We send our coal over there to their factories to make solar panels for us to use. Aren't we clean energy? Aren't we doing emission rate? Meanwhile, we're paying through the arse on our electricity bills now. Many don't know, but there's things called carbon credits, and that's things that the government are paying out for be green, and that's to reduce your carbon emissions or to from preschool, primary school, high school. And you start to wonder why are kids having problems, at ages 5, 6, 7? Why are so many kids ending up on NDIS and ending up with ADHD problems, ending up with autism problems? It's because from before they could even walk, before they could even talk, they've been jammed into childcare centres. They're not getting the time to be raised by their mother and their father. They're not getting that quality bonding time, that development time. Instead, they're getting put into a daycare centre, or the parents go off to work, and most of the money they're earning from work is just going to pay for the daycare centre. It's a breaking system, mate. People are angry, and you know what? They have the right to be angry right now. Their grocery prices are going up, their rent's going up, their mortgages are increasing, banks are getting rich. The big two supermarkets, Coles, Woolies, they're saying, it's not that much money. They're making over $1 billion after the smartest and sharpest accountants can write off as much as they can for these companies. They're like, we've got 1.1 billion left, or we've got 1.6 billion left, that's profit. They're profiteering off the food. Meanwhile, energy going up, and we've got a government screaming about net zero. Guys, Australia is less than 1% of carbon emissions in the world. It's closer to 0.5% of carbon emissions in the world for a first world country. Yet we're shutting down coal-powered stations across the country. We're decommissioning them all. We're trying to bring in solar, we're trying to bring in wind, trying to do green things. But we have such a small percent of the carbon emissions. Meanwhile, we're digging, sending coal out to China, to India, who are celebrating opening up more coal power plants right now. They celebrate it. And that's India celebrating getting 1 billion tons of coal mine themselves to burn through their plants, and they're opening up plants every month right now. Now, Australia's manufacturing is pretty much gone as an overhaul, so all that coal going across overseas is going to manufacturing energy costs for us to buy stuff from them into our country. 99% of solar panels are manufactured in China and imported to Australia. We send our coal over there to their factories to make solar panels for us to use over here and say, oh God, aren't we good? Aren't we clean energy? Aren't we doing the great thing for the environment? Meanwhile, we're digging it all up, send it over there, and that's going to get every increasing rate. That happens with a net zero target. Energy costs are going up. And it's not the working class. The affluent class, and again, it's great that you all have solar energy and green and fuck off. Okay? The working class, we're struggling paying our bills right now. My fucking power bill has gone up about 50% over the last 2 years. Australia has enough coal to power this country for the next 1,200 years. We have a third of the world's uranium. We can power Australia on nuclear for at least the next 600 years. And we're not using the resources we have available when we have less than 1% emission rate. Meanwhile, we're paying for the balance of electricity bills. Being green, and it's to reduce your carbon emissions or to create carbon. And we're seeing agricultural land, prime agricultural land for farming, for food, or for livestock, are getting bought out. And they're saying we're planting trees here, and we're planting there's these weird kind of bush things that kind of spread out like weeds everywhere, and just makes it completely uninhabitable to anything else. But you know what? It's a carbon sink, and the government is paying out carbon credits for people to buy out our land here, put trees there, or put these weird weeds and stuff like that, or even just to say this land is no longer used for farming, so there's no more carbon emissions. And they're paying out carbon credits to them, and a carbon credit's worth about $30, just over $30 right now. You can trade on the market. So the government is subsidizing this stuff, but people are just saying, cool, let's shut down farming further, let's shut down arable land further, and just build these weird things, and the government's going to pay for it. I looked into it. I could buy out, declare a couple of hectares of land as a carbon sink, and you're like going to plant all these crappy weeds everywhere that's going to suck up carbon. And the government is going to pay me a couple 10,000 a year just to do nothing with that land. And then that land is actually not away from any further farming for the next 100 years. And people are doing that right now. So it's locking out Australia land. And you know what? It's not Australians doing it. It's overseas investors buying up our land to say this is no longer being used to create carbon, and then claiming carbon credits off our government. So they're getting paid for the land that they're buying. The entire system is fucking rotted. Yep, we're told we're being green, we're doing the right thing. I won't beat the dead drum, we've all heard it. We've got our fossil fuel companies, and they're selling off our natural gas overseas, not paying royalties or large chunks of it. And a lot of the large mining companies are paying their fair share shifting offshore to get away from
Going to the airport.
and the government is pushing us down this path. The wealthy.
What time did you start this morning?
Early bird catch the worm. Do you have the pin?
Sorry?
Do you have the pin?
Oh, the pin?
Yes, please.
God, I don't even know. 5457.
Thank you. It's the safety
new?
feature. Yeah.
Oh,
It's too
when did
easy.
that come in?
I think recently.
No, right. Just took one last week and they didn't ask me, so it must have come in a week.
Yeah, it's safer. So sometimes you can pick up someone by accident.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a load.
Yeah. Because sometimes people doesn't even communicate, assumes that we're going somewhere,
Right.
and then they start seeing not where they're going.
Got it.
And it happened more than we think because
Really?
yeah, it's a busy place. Sometimes it looks the same and the car looks the same because most of the people use the same car.
Right.
And people just jump in.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe when they've been drinking.
Yep, that's me. We'll be in less than 20 minutes.
Great.
Let me know if it gets too cold or how they can change
All
it.
good. Thanks, mate. Where are you from?
Spain,
Spain. Oh, I love Spain. We're in Spain.
Barcelona.
Nice.
You live all your life here?
No, I traveled the world actually. I spent it here in Spain, mostly in Madrid.
Ah, nice. Capital.
Yeah, loved it. It's great. I love Toledo actually. That's one of my favorites.
Ah, Toledo is beautiful.
Yeah.
Very hot in summers.
Very hot. Oh my God, so hot.
No coast.
Awesome. Awesome. Beautiful.
The interior, you get the traditional.
Sorry?
In the interior, you get traditional Spain.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. How long have you been here?
17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, almost 20. Long time. And everything has changed a lot. This year especially,
Really?
things are changing really fast.
Did you go back?
No, not back home. Just in general, like the world has changed.
No, totally. What do you think of Donald Trump?
I think it's a change. I think it's like any politician. They always do things that people don't like. I'm not into politics. I don't understand much.
Yeah.
But I've seen everything almost like a circus,
Yeah.
No matter what country. Because at the end of the day, whoever takes the decision is the people with money.
Yeah, actually.
I think it's very like dividing.
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
When I'm a stronger believer that we should all get together,
Great. Even when the UK left,
Yeah. Yeah, I think
they're
it
such a
might,
big mistake.
my
Crazy.
opinion, it is a bit crazy because you don't get the support of Europe,
Exactly.
and it's important.
So dumb.
But we do things, human, we always do the things that it doesn't make sense.
True. Maybe in the future they'll make sense, but at the moment I just think he's completely crazy.
Yeah. That's why I don't give too many opinions of that, because maybe it makes sense some way.
Yeah. I think because I lived in America for a year and I studied there and I loved it so much, but now I don't want to go back because there's so many stories of people getting locked up. It's terrible.
Especially Australia, there's been news like the
Yeah.
people getting
Crazy.
stranded.
It's crazy.
One of the trainers in the gym that went to America for one MMA event,
Yeah.
they put him, they have to send it back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the visa. And because
Crazy.
it was something with the Australian thing. It's very weird.
Right.
But it was all over the news too.
Wow.
But I think they don't pay attention to that.
I've seen heaps of it on the news. My husband.
The husband. And even worse. Yeah.
Then in New Zealand, the lady got locked up with her 6-year-old son.
Wow.
Crazy.
It's pretty wild. I think the world is getting wild.
Oh my God, yeah. Very sad. Scary.
Sometimes I think the life it repeats itself, the cycle,
Yeah.
And it was a time in Europe when it was the war, exactly like how going now. There were times they were putting people on the side.
Yeah.
So it feels like what happened in America now. They just putting people on the side and send them somewhere because they think it's not legal, or they think it's not, and they pay you to snitch,
Yeah.
And I think in those days they were like that. They get paid to snitch. It was pretty wild. So I think it's the same situation, but in a modern era, without the violence. And same with war. I think the war, what's going on now, is not the war we meant to. So it's not the war we have in mind. So it's more like a really spiritual world. It really is testing boundaries of each other.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have seen, but it's a lot of in the water now, a lot of Chinese vessels.
Yeah.
And they all surrounded Australia.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything, just move, just taking notes of every day, like every day.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. Scary.
It's almost like they're studying every move of every country.
They definitely are. 100%.
And I think that will be, yeah, that will be the pressure of back in the days would be just sort of invasion. I don't know. It's just very confusing.
I think they're definitely gonna plan something
Yeah, something.
very scary.
But maybe not a generation. Maybe the next one. That's the thing. The art of war is super interesting because it's not just fight. It's patient. It's I don't know. It's art.
Chinese are very, very good at it.
Yeah, thousands of years.
They're experts. They get everything overtly as well.
And they have numbers.
They're running out of resources, so they have to come up with a plan.
Yeah,
It's scary.
it is a scary battle. But the more you know, the more it hurts. You're moving house, and you're moving the house, or
No, I'm going away from work and my son is there, so it's all baby stuff. So we're away for 2 weeks.
it's the PTSD of me that every time I see a box, I think moving. A box to me is moving house.
Have you been in the army?
Sort of. Now it's
Like, yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. How you know?
Oh, because a lot of European countries have the 1 year
Yeah.
military service.
It's compository, but even before when my dad did 3 years, so it changed. Now I think it's not
Because
compository.
I'm from the army as well,
Yeah.
and I think probably most people don't understand what kind of defense plan.
The strategic,
Yeah.
and it plays in the stress too. In what do you do?
Sorry.
Plays in the stress, like what are you doing? No,
Yeah.
you know, like what's this going on? It's psychological.
Yeah.
Do you believe in psyops?
Yes, that's my fear.
Yeah.
My area is information operations.
Okay. Stressful now.
Yep. Cyber is very technical, scary. So, it might not be kinetic, but it might be a cyber attack. That might be how it starts. And everything can take it over. Our reliance on services and technology is very scary.
Absolutely. And it's happening more often now. And
Yeah.
they're increasing the price to the people. You know, they do bounties and they're increasing the price of bounties now.
Yeah.
So they don't give, not, you don't know what country is giving it. So they ask to give you this money. They don't tell you from where. It was a 0 day Trojan horse that the governments used before. It was one click, so they send you a text message one click. So it's called Pegasus. So this software, I think that was one of the biggest came out, and that was when that was bought for countries when saying who was to buy. Now they know the result, so
Yeah.
that now they don't say who buys it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes sense. So now the people who like I'm a IT guy, so I can't create things like that.
Yeah.
And now you don't know who. So because we have ethics and morals,
Exactly.
Um,
So you don't.
so if we don't offer to people that we use in a bad way,
Yes, exactly.
But now because you don't
The
know what
enemy
it costs,
does.
yeah, yeah. But would you? So let's say someone offer a lot of money, and you find they don't tell you what they're gonna do or who is. It's very difficult in a situation we live in now that they put you in pressure. So it's all
Are you
strategic.
talking about a foreign intelligence service or anyone?
Yeah, in general, like oh
Well, anyone who's in a government job has to have a security clearance, and you need to. If someone comes and approaches me and says, "I want to know blah 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 blah," or whatever,
yeah.
it's pretty obvious what they're after. It's something to do with national security.
Yes, the intelligence in every country they are aware, but the thing is, I don't know who is offering this money or where did that come from. So because internet, it could be my neighbor. I don't know, you know,
Yeah, true.
and it's happening. Like it's a lot of bounties going on. Before in my days when I was more young, it was we have chats like not secret, but servers that we talk because internet started as a military service.
Yeah.
So since I was a kid, I always been in groups like that,
Right.
and I can see what's going on in the same situation, but now it's like a crisis.
Yeah.
So I kind of like sometimes I just want to burn the phone and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
It is.
It's so helpful, but so dangerous.
Yeah, because now you can't really tell who is offering anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in any country. So all intelligence are going crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting world.
I
Like-
just hope that it'll be interesting to see what happens in Taiwan. But,
Yeah, that's the main center. At least for intelligence. That's where we get all these things. Without that, without this, I would say we will become the people we were before, and will be more physical than a spiritual world. We say I call spiritual say more, not as physical.
Yeah.
We're still humans after all. Machines might know a lot and control, but it's up to the human to decide.
Yeah.
To press the button or not. I hope always for the best. That's why I'm trying not to get involved in things like that, because it makes me think. Let's say for the nuclear situation, Albert Einstein created or the theory that helps to create a nuclear bomb. I don't think he will be proud.
yeah, he doesn't realize what it's being used for now.
Exactly. So creating something now is just to think twice.
Yeah.
No matter how much they offer you. Thanks for the chat. I hope you have a great trip.
Thanks, mate. I've enjoyed not having any children.
Yeah. Always breaks are good.
Oh my God, it's the first time I can't even tell you, nearly a year, I think. I get very impatient.
It's normal.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
4-year-olds are so difficult.
It gets better when they get teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
The teenager times is challenging. I was one, so now when you're adult, you see it. I used to lose the mind.
Exactly. So annoying.
I was saying in Spain, say that you don't translating is hard. No sabes lo que es ser padre hasta que pues, Yeah, it's hard to fit someone at the biggest. Yeah, we don't know until we parents ourselves. So yeah, thank you so much. Six. That's crazy. Six. Wow, what the fuck? No way. What I fucking crazy. Well, dude. Okay. Why is giving me that? I don't understand. Okay. Level 1, dude. That is crazy.
I did aerospace mechanical. I loved it. I turned down SpaceX and Boeing, which people are like, why? But SpaceX was still blowing up rockets at the time. Like they're probably gonna lose. And yeah, I think it just don't be a perfectionist. Post it, show up as your full self, and if you're actually providing value added content, it will start showing up. Everyone, David Bumble coming to you from with a very, very special guest, Caitlin. Great having you on the show. So happy to be here. I was so excited when we got here. Yeah, exactly. It was fantastic to see you. And you are killing it on Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms. So well done. Thank you. I could say the same about you. It's been amazing. 1.2 million on Instagram now? Yeah. New message from Peter. Are you still coming? Came up on TikTok like 2 years ago. Wow. Why is that? Well, I loved it, and then I worked for them, and then I stopped loving it. Big shout out to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. One of the most important skills you need to develop in today's uncertain world of AI, where everything seems to change every day, and everything advances at breakneck speed, is critical thinking. If you really want to think better and understand the underlying AI tools that you're using today, and want to solve problems across any subject, you should try Brilliant. It's not just about facts, it's about transforming how your brain thinks. With Brilliant, you learn by doing, you go through interactive lessons and solve problems. They have 2 courses that you'll be interested in going through, a logic course as well as a How AI Works course. In these courses, you'll work through puzzles and build up intuition, and you'll see how complex subjects become more accessible. It's a really powerful way to learn. Doesn't matter if the topic is math, science, or programming, even AI, you learn to be a better critical thinker. Do that over and over again, and you become a better problem solver. Give your mind its daily workout with these challenges and puzzles from Brilliant. So if you want to try everything that Brilliant has to offer, go to brilliant.org/Bumble. You'll also get 20% off annual premium subscription using my link. I believe that education can change our lives. We'll learn something new every day. It will be amazing how quickly you can pick up new knowledge and new
these skills? You mean you actually work for TikTok?
Yeah, so I actually got a job at TikTok from my TikTok.
Okay, you got to tell us that story.
Yeah. So I started only on TikTok, and the reason why I was called Cybersecurity Girl was because I was like mortified that people that I worked with were going to find out that I was on it. And I was like a director at like one of the largest law firms in the world at the time, and I specifically in data privacy. So, which is even more ironic that I'm on TikTok because originally I was telling people, and then when they moved and they said, "Hey, we're partnering with Oracle, we're going to be U.S. based now," I'm like, "Okay, now I can go on it." And it was during COVID, and I was like, I really want to make this platform to educate the public on like what cybersecurity is and demystify what a career looks like, and which we'll talk about later because I love how we talk about career. And then also like get more women into cyber and STEM fields. I was an aerospace engineer, and there was 5 of us, and I was like, okay, I want to like inspire the next generation. And unfortunately, at that point, or fortunately, the next generation was on TikTok, and I decided I'm gonna just do only on TikTok, no one else. My name was never tied to it. It was just Cybersecurity Girl. And I was like, I'm going to post 3 times a day. And if it doesn't go anywhere after a year, I'm done. Like
3 times a day.
3 times a day.
That is commitment.
It is, but people don't realize I didn't have like a family. Like that was my life. So I would work, and then I was like, we couldn't do anything. It was COVID. So I was like, okay, I have, hours of time at this point. I would cook a healthy meal, and then I'd like do research, and not all of them were like talking videos. They were like trending audio. So it was like, the 8-second videos that don't take that long to edit. And then it just blew up. But so they found me and they were asking me, hey, would you want to speak? And I was like, no, we couldn't. It was at RSA like in 2021. And it never worked out. And then I was wanting to change roles, and I applied to a privacy role at TikTok, and I got it. I went through like 4 interviews. I got the privacy role. Really excited. I messaged the person that originally reached out to me about speaking, and I'm like, hey, by the way, like really excited. I'm going to head over to TikTok. She's like, absolutely no way. Like you have to work for us, our team first. And she ended up completely creating a role for me, which was a global lead of cybersecurity advocacy and culture, which just meant that I was in charge of all the training for TikTok globally,
Okay.
internally. So training for cybersecurity globally. And then I also was in charge of advocating for TikTok externally. So that was the part that I was unclear about. I was like, I'm going to advocate for TikTok. That was when everyone hated TikTok, and we were, lobbying on the Hill, like the PR team reaching out to me. And basically my job was anytime there was anything about TikTok in the news across the globe, Australia, Singapore, the UK was destroying us. And it was anytime they talked about cybersecurity, my job was to go talk to the engineers, see if it was a valid argument or what was going on, and come back with the report within 24 hours or less, because, news moves fast, and tell them exactly what happened, write a thing up that they could use. But then at the end of the day, every time it was just destroyed by, like, we couldn't say stuff because of lawyers and PR. And so then we ended at that point just giving cookie cutter responses to everything. And it's just very frustrating. And I didn't even have enough time to do training for TikTok, which was honestly the reason why I was going there and why I was most excited. So I absolutely love and admire that platform. I think it is a huge force for good. I obviously think there's negatives about it, but they used to say they inspire creativity and bring joy, and I really do believe that. I mean, it completely changed the trajectory of my life because I only started on TikTok. So what platform did you start on at the beginning?
YouTube.
Yeah, so it's like if you have there's a big spot in your heart for YouTube, right?
Of course,
like,
yeah, of course. That's how you started.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of, and then I ended up working for them for a year, and then I was like, it's done. I'm gonna just do my own thing, and that's when I quit and started my own company. So
that's amazing. I mean, so you got to give us a bit of your story, because you went from aerospace engineer,
yeah,
and now cyber, and between them was privacy, right?
Yeah. So it was. My story is crazy. I loved math and science as a kid, and my parents were like, you should consider engineering. And in my head, I'm like, absolutely not. That is like fully a man's job. I'm not doing engineering. And my dad's like, you should do mechanical. And I'm like, that is literally a car mechanic. Like in my head, I just thought of a dirty car mechanic. Not because anyone told me, it just like, that's what I assumed. I don't know. I just didn't see anything different. So I went to school as an elementary education major. I wanted to be an elementary school teacher. And I went for like 2 or 3 months, and then I was convinced, actually, you're going to get the long story. So I was told, I was a cheerleader in college, and I was told that the easiest like gen ed class, the standard class you have to take when you're freshman, so the easiest science class take was an intro to engineering, and it just like went through all the different engineering courses. And so my other cheerleader friend was like, you have to convince them that you're really interested in engineering in order to get in, because it's always what the athletes take, because it's the easy class and it's probably already full. So I went into it being like, I'm going to convince shit out of this person. I'm gonna be like the most convincing person that I'm interested in engineering. Well, I didn't realize that my freshman advisor was also the advisor for the mechanical engineering school.
That's funny.
I had no idea. And she was like, "You're really interested?" And she got really excited because I'm obviously a woman. And she switched my majors, and I had no idea. She put me on the mechanical engineering track. And I did such a good job of convincing her. Halfway through the semester, I like go to my friend, I'm like, "Why did you say this class was easy?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "It's so hard. Like, this is not an easy gen ed class." And she's like, "What teacher do you have?" And I told her, she's like, "That's not the class I was talking about." And it turns out I went back to my counselor. She's like, "Oh, I thought you said you were interested in mechanical engineering, so I put you on in the intro to mechanical engineering track, and I switched your track." And I was like, "What?" And at that point, you're already in. And I was like, "It is interesting. I really like this. My parents would love it." And I actually got a scholarship because I wrote an essay about how I accidentally fell into engineering.
That's hilarious.
And so when I switched to engineering, I actually unfortunately lost part of my scholarship because my scholarship was based on the school I got into. So I decided to apply to other schools just to see. I didn't want to leave, but I ended up going to USC for aerospace mechanical engineering and stayed there and got my master's in it. Loved it. I did an internship at GE. I worked in alternative energy, so all the board mounted power devices. By the way, terrible at electrical engineering. Could not. If I can't see it, it's not happening. And ironically, now I'm in cyber. And then I did Chevron, and I worked in an oil refinery with steel-toed boots and a hard hat and coveralls.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I
You
also
gotta send us some photos of that.
oh, I have some. It's pretty great. And then I also worked at Abbott Labs in like supply chain pharmaceuticals, and I loved every bit of it. But after my master's, I was like, I love it, but can I see myself here in more than 5 years? I was like, I'm gonna get bored at every single place. I was seeing like guys at the oil refinery that had been working at the oil refinery doing the same thing for 6 years, and I was like, absolutely not. There's no way. And so my cousin actually wanted to do consulting, and I was like, let me try consulting because you can try different things and then kind of figure out where you want to go. And when I was applying, one of the ladies at UI that was interviewing me was like, "Hey, would you be interested in cybersecurity?" And my immediate thought was, absolutely not. That's a man's job. I had to take MATLAB in school, and it's not really coding, but it is coding, and terrible. I got C minuses in both my MATLAB classes. So in my head, I'm like,
Is this third chair? Are you listening to me? Is this third chair? Wow. It is a man's job, right? Okay. Taking note. Do, 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 do. Holy crap, dude. It's all happening. It's all happening. It's crazy. That's all we have. That's all we have. Yo, yo, yo. Give me an update of the last news in Australia today.
Oh shit. Australia's been wild lately. 2 cops got ambushed and killed in Victoria by some sovereign citizen.
It's using the words of the P. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. The intelligence, after all, I'm not gonna say. Put it in the box. You solve the box. Now you solve it. $65. Oh my fucking day, dude. Oh, 65. 3 hours ago.
If anybody's expecting the next 5 years to be good, I don't know why you would think that.
So what do you flesh it out for us?
So Israel and Iran is not over, not by a long stretch. The conflict either goes covert, and there's more covert action between the two, or it continues to fester as on and off overt activity. Right? But Israel needs to stay embroiled in conflict. Donald Trump has benefited by Israel being embroiled in conflict. And the only way Israel is going to win back the support of Khaliji Arabs, who are staunchly in support of Palestine, the only way Israel builds back that relationship is by continuing to have conflict with Iran or ending their conflict in Gaza. Which one are they going to choose of the two of those? Right? They're not going to stop their conflict in Gaza just to win back the support of Khaliji Arabs in the Arab world.
They've got to stop at some point.
And they've got to stop at some point, but
there's not going to be that many buildings left in Gaza.
well, it also the end was never defined.
This is the for Sam, right?
How are you?
Can I fit a bag in the back? Is that okay?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. You need help? You want me to help you? I grab it from this side.
Oh, thank you. I might scoot back.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I sit in the front?
Sure, yeah, definitely. Oh, perfect.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Sweet.
Oh, thank you so much.
You have the pin?
There's a pin.
Yeah, they changed it. They put it for safety.
I don't have a pin. Oh, 8552.
Yeah, they changed it. Sorry.
Okay. I suggest reversing back a little bit.
Yeah.
Reverse here.
Mhm.
There's a street right behind us. Go down. Oh, if you reverse back that way, yeah.
Right to the next street, yeah?
Yeah, if you just go straight down there. Sorry, I am running quite late for my flight.
We'll be quick. The traffic is pretty good today.
So yeah, just
Shouldn't take so long. Traveling far away?
sorry.
Traveling far away?
Just to no. Yeah.
That's playing a sport or?
Pardon?
Is that playing a sport?
Yes, snowboard.
Oh, sweet. Have you been in Europe?
I haven't. No.
Recommend it. I used to do
Yeah.
snowboard.
You saw what?
I used to do snowboard.
Oh yeah, in Europe.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Europe?
In Spain.
Spain. Okay. Yeah, I very much want to go to Europe, but
I recommend it.
still haven't made it out there. It's the opposite side of the planet to Australia. It's hard to get to, right?
It's a long way, but it's worth it.
Yeah, of course.
If you like snowboard, so good.
Oh, amazing.
You get the best snow. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's
Here is pretty bad.
but it's a have it's Most of the time they use a fake one, so
Yes.
you get powder.
I think the last 3 days have been snowing. I think this is the most snow we've had this season so far.
Mhm.
And I think it's 60 centimeters over 3 or 4 days, which is good, but like it's not amazing. Like that's the best Australia can possibly get.
It's a hot place. Like it's pretty good for what Australia. I'm saying good.
Yeah, really good for Australia, but like Japan, I've had 60 centimeters overnight many times.
It's like a perfect. The problem here also is a lot of wind because it's so flat that it
Yes.
so the snow gets like an ice. So every time it falls, it's like falling a rock.
Yeah, New Zealand can get a little bit like that too.
It's more flatter, more option for the wind.
Yeah.
To create those icy. I love snowboard. We have a big competition with the skiing people. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they do. My dad's a skier. He takes it on.
We have many friends. Many of them they love skiing. Skiing is because it's two different, almost cultures. Different.
Very, very.
And we used to take las pistas, the places that we go. Some of them are different colors, different levels. We used to get in the dangerous one.
Yeah.
Getting trying to get the virgin snow, like the one no one's have scratch already, and that ruins the skin because we're creating like curves, and one of those curves like go stuck and roll around, and the skin behind it did like a to the corner. The spray.
Yeah, yeah.
I was laughing at me like it told me that's for leaving those cravings to us like. Okay. But it was almost like funny. It's fun stuff.
Sometimes it's pretty serious though. Like I know I've been to Amazon in Japan where they only just started allowing snowboarders like a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
And so